Welcome back to the deep dive. For so many of us, life feels, well, really structured.
Right. Work, chores, just keeping things running.
Exactly. But what about that space between all the must-dos, what we actually do with our free time? It feels like a footnote sometimes.
But it's really not. The sources we've looked at today, they suggest it's absolutely fundamental, key to long-term happiness, even success.
Okay, so today we're diving deep into hobbies, free time, what people actually do,
Yeah, we're looking at, well, some academic stuff, leisure studies, but also just lots of conversational reviews, seeing what people around the world get up to.
and the mission here.
It's basically to show that hobbies aren't trivial, not just time fillers. They're, essential. For relaxing, sure, but also learning new things.
And maybe shielding us from the daily grind.
That's a big part of it. Your best defense against boredom, routine, maybe even some of that modern life anxiety.
Got it. So for you listening, our goal here is kind of a shortcut. Finding joy, finding knowledge, but outside the 9 to 5.
We want to pull together what makes these activities so vital for well-being.
And practically speaking, give you some ideas, maybe a blueprint for finding your thing.
Right, because the main point we need to get across right away is that hobbies are like an investment in yourself.
A proactive one, not just passive.
Exactly. Deliberate acts of self-care, really. They just happen to be fun.
When you say investment,
Yeah.
you mean time and attention,
Yeah.
right? Our most valuable stuff.
Precisely. Putting that time, that focus, into something that brings you joy or helps you grow or just lets you rest.
And crucially, it's separate from work or making money.
That separation is key. It lets your brain kind of play, experiment without high stakes,
Yeah.
and that's incredibly refreshing.
Okay, let's make this real. Let's look at some specific examples from the sources. Real people, real hobbies, and the sort of psychological boost they get.
Good idea. Where should we start?
How about something simple, often solitary? Reading, learning.
Ah, yes. Reading came up a lot. The sources talk about the pleasure people get from all sorts of genres.
Like novels, mysteries.
Yeah, historical novels, page-turning mysteries, really imaginative science fiction, all of it.
And the immediate benefit is obvious, right? Escapism, entertainment.
True. But what's fascinating, digging into the analysis, is the link to actual skill development, cognitive skills.
How so? I usually just think of it as enjoying a story.
Well, it's about language mastery. Think about vocabulary. You just absorb new words naturally.
Okay, that makes sense.
And sentence structures, too. Compare, say, a fast-paced thriller with dense science fiction or literary fiction.
Very different styles.
Totally. The thriller might use short, punchy sentences, great for momentum, right? And it trains your brain for clear, direct communication in a way. But then you tackle a complex novel, maybe classic lit, and you're processing these intricate sentences, layered clauses.
So without even treading, you're kind of upgrading your language skills,
Pretty much. Your brain learns to handle more complex language just by reading it.
like accidental learning.
Uh-huh.
The story is the fun part that makes you swallow the grammar lesson.
Exactly. Education disguised as entertainment. It's quite powerful.
Okay, so that's the quiet, brainy hobby. Let's pivot. What about something active, more physical, maybe social?
Sports. That's the obvious contrast.
Right. The sources mention things like playing football, soccer, for some listeners with a local amateur team.
Yeah, weekend games, that kind of thing. But also simpler stuff, like just running in the park regularly.
So there are dual benefits here, clearly.
Absolutely. We usually focus on the physical side, getting fit, fresh air, burning off stress.
Which is huge, obviously.
But the social aspect, especially in team sports, even amateur ones, that might be even more important for us now.
How do you mean?
When you're playing, you're constantly communicating. Fast-paced, real-world communication.
Not like work emails.
Not at all. You're reading body language, nonverbal cues, figuring out what teammates are planning, handling little conflicts on the fly, working together.
Yeah, that's a much more raw form of communication, isn't it? You have to react instantly.
Right. You can't just sit and compose a response. You're processing multiple inputs at speed.
And that builds a real sense of community, teamwork. That must spill over into other parts of life.
It does. It really integrates the physical health with, well, deep psychological health. You're moving, often laughing, connected.
And getting into that flow state.
Yes, that feeling of being completely absorbed, where time just vanishes, that's a huge sign of a truly fulfilling activity.
Okay, from the energy of sports, let's move inward again, but this time focusing on senses and creation. The kitchen.
Ah, culinary exploration. cooking, baking.
The sources really emphasize the relaxing side of this, just the process of trying new recipes.
It's a fantastic example because it hits so many senses at once. Touch, smell, taste, sight.
Very hands-on.
Totally. And the analysis pointed to people exploring international foods specifically.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Italian pasta came up, those rich Indian curries, traditional Brazilian dishes too.
Yeah.
And, of course, baking cakes, cookies, the comfort stuff.
Any reason for those specific places, do you think? Italian, Indian, Brazilian?
It might be about accessibility and complexity combined. Italian cooking teaches great technique with fewer ingredients, focusing on quality.
Right. The basics done well.
Indian curries push you to understand complex spice blends, layering flavors. It's a whole different skill set.
And Brazilian.
Often lots of regional variety, different textures, new ingredients. It challenges your palate and your methods. You're basically building this global flavor knowledge base.
And the sources mentioned the bonus, which is pretty unique.
You get to eat it.
Exactly. That direct link between putting in the effort and getting this immediate, delicious reward. Hard to beat.
It really is. It's like a perfect little motivation loop. Invest time, follow the steps, get instant gratification you can actually share.
And there's a real sense of accomplishment, isn't there? Creating something tangible.
Incredibly stabilizing. You know, so much of our work output can be abstract or the payoff is delayed. Cooking gives you solid proof. I made this, it's good.
Evidence of competence. I like that.
It feeds you, body and soul.
Okay, one more for this first section. The universal connector. Music.
Ah, yes. Not playing it necessarily, but the hobby of listening.
Right. Intentionally listening, building a collection, hunting for new artists, using music as a soundtrack.
The sources noted people doing this while working out, relaxing, even commuting, making those times better.
And the range of tastes mentioned was huge.
Oh, yeah. Rock, pop, jazz, classical, everything. But the common thread was using music to manage mood.
So choosing music based on how you feel or how you want to feel?
Exactly. It's a mood regulator. If you need focus, maybe instrumental stuff. If you need energy for the gym, something driving and rhythmic.
It elevates those mundane moments, doesn't it? Cleaning the house, sitting on the bus.
Turns them into potential discovery zones. Actively looking for new artists, exploring genres. That keeps your brain engaged with novelty.
So just in those 4 readings, sports, cooking, music we've hit on, brain development, physical health, social connection, sensory engagement, mood control.
It covers a lot of ground. Hobbies really do seem to be like the bedrock of a rich inner life.
Okay, that personal framework is super helpful. Now let's zoom out. Let's survey the wider landscape. What are the common activities people gravitate towards globally?
We need to categorize them somehow, right?
Right.
To help make sense of the huge range of options.
Yeah. How about starting with, say, relaxation versus exploration, the kind of opposite ends of the spectrum?
All right, so for pure relaxation, the most common thing mentioned was watching movies and TV shows.
No surprise there.
And the analysis puts it down to streaming services, making it so easy. Constant new stuff, always available, just click and unwind.
Okay, but I have to push back a bit here. Is just passively watching something on the sofa really a fulfilling hobby, like in the same league as cooking a meal or learning an instrument?
That's a really important distinction. We need to separate rest from fulfillment. Passive watching is great for resting the brain, switching off decision-making.
Which we all need sometimes.
Absolutely. But for it to become more of a hobby, the sources suggest it often needs something active layered on top.
Like what?
Like maybe you get really into a specific director or genre, or you discuss it online, write reviews, think critically about it.
Ah, so engaging with it, not just consuming it.
Exactly. Otherwise, yeah, it can just become a time sink, lacking that sense of mastery or accomplishment that marks a real hobby.
Got it. That makes sense. Active engagement transforms it. Okay, now the total opposite. Traveling.
The ultimate exploration hobby.
Visiting new places, cultures, seeing the sights, trying the food.
Travel really hits that deep human need for novelty, doesn't it? Breaking the routine.
And it doesn't have to be a huge trip, right? The sources mentioned even short trips count.
Yeah, even just exploring a nearby town you don't know well. It forces you to adapt, learn on the fly, maybe challenge your assumptions. It's active learning in the real world.
Okay, let's shift gears. What about hobbies focused on making things, expressing yourself, building skills, the creative stuff?
Right. This is a big category. Things like painting, drawing, writing. playing a musical instrument.
These feel really powerful.
They are, arguably, because they shift you from being just a consumer to being a producer. You're putting something new into the world.
Expressing your inner world externally.
Exactly. And developing complex new skills, fine motor control for painting, understanding narrative for writing, music theory.
Takes effort, for sure.
Yeah.
But the payoff is that personal satisfaction.
Huge. And notice how different they are cognitively. Writing is abstract, linear. Painting is spatial, visual. Music involves rhythm, pitch.
They work totally different parts of your brain.
Right. And that commitment to getting better, to mastering the skill, that's where a lot of the deep fulfillment comes from. Trying to capture a feeling in music or a scene on paper.
Okay, next up, collecting. Cataloging the world in a way.
Yeah, the sources mention stamps, coins, comic books, vintage items. It sometimes gets dismissed as a bit, I don't know, nerdy.
Maybe. But the analysis suggests there's more going on intellectually.
Definitely. Collecting isn't just about acquiring stuff. It's the thrill of the hunt, yes. But it also turns the collector into a mini expert, often a historian or even a geographer.
How does collecting stamps make you a historian?
Well, think about specializing. Say you collect stamps from African nations right after independence.
Okay.
You're automatically learning about the politics, the changing maps, the economics of that whole period. Post-colonial history right there on those little squares of paper.
Oh, okay. I never thought of it like that.
Or coin collectors focusing on, say, pre-decimal European currency. They're learning about specific kingdoms, economic shifts, the symbols and art styles of vanished empires.
It's history you can hold. Tangible history.
Exactly. It adds this whole layer of intellectual depth. It's applied history structured by your collection.
That completely changes how you might view that hobby. Okay, circling back to movement. Activities for fitness and fun.
Right. We know exercise is good, but things like hiking, cycling, swimming, dancing, they're highlighted because they make fitness enjoyable.
They disguise the exercise.
Pretty much. The reward isn't just, I burned calories, it's the experience itself.
Like the reward for hiking is the view, or
Yeah.
just being an age.
Exactly. The reward for dancing is the music, the movement, that flow state again. Fitness becomes the side effect, not the main goal.
And that mental shift is probably key to sticking with it long term.
Absolutely. It creates a positive loop. You do it because it's fun and you happen to get fit. Much healthier than thinking of exercise as, like, punishment.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, finally in this broad survey, we have to talk about gaming.
Video games.
Yeah.
Hugely popular, especially as the sources note, with younger generations.
And often misunderstood, maybe.
Yeah.
Just seen as entertainment.
Sometimes. But we need to look at the cognitive side. Games present challenges. Big ones.
In what way?
Well, think about different game types. Strategy games like RTS or turn-based ones, they demand really complex planning, resource management, thinking ahead.
Okay.
Fast-paced shooters. They require incredible reaction times, precision, fine motor skills. And those big role-playing games, the narrative ones, they often involve complex storylines, ethical choices you have to make, understanding character arcs.
So it's way more than just mindless clicking. It's active problem solving.
Constantly. And crucially, it's intensely social for many people.
Right, playing online with friends or even strangers.
Absolutely. Gaming is a massive way people form and maintain friendships now. Those communities around big games are huge. People collaborate, communicate complex plans under pressure.
Connect with others who share that very specific interest.
It bridges distances, provides a structured way to socialize. It's a really significant part of the modern hobby landscape.
Okay, we've covered the common ground, but sometimes the real magic, the deep fulfillment, is off the beaten path, in the unexpected hobbies.
Yeah, the sources had some really interesting, less common activities, things that require maybe a unique kind of commitment.
Let's dive into those. Where do we start? Maybe something therapeutic.
How about gardening? Seems common, but the analysis really focused on the therapeutic side.
Getting your hands dirty.
Exactly. Watching things grow, even if it's just, like the sources said, a few pots on a balcony or a windowsill, it's grounding.
Connects you to natural cycles, maybe. In our instant world, gardening forces patience.
That's a great point. You have to observe, anticipate, wait. It's a real lesson in nurturing and delayed gratification.
Looking after the little ecosystem.
Right. And speaking of observing nature, bird watching also came up.
Oh, yeah. That sounds very peaceful.
It is. Low impact, quiet. It really demands patience and sharp observation skills, things we don't always practice much anymore. A pathway to just being present.
Okay, from nature to precision. Calligraphy. The art of beautiful handwriting.
Such an elegant hobby. It feels like a reaction against the digital age, doesn't it?
Definitely. Making writing deliberate, artistic.
It forces focus, fine motor control, an eye for aesthetics. It's like meditation, but you end up with something beautiful and tangible. Slow art.
I like that. Now let's get a bit more adventurous. Urban exploration or urbex.
Right. Exploring abandoned buildings, man-made
That
structures.
sounds potentially risky.
It absolutely can be. The sources were very clear. Safety first. Legality is crucial. You can't just trespass. But the psychological pull is strong.
What is the appeal? Exploring decay.
It's about seeing behind the scenes, uncovering hidden history. Urbex gives you this unique view of the layers of a city. Development, decay, forgotten stories.
Like stepping into a time capsule.
Exactly. Abandoned factories, old theaters, schools. They hold echoes of the past. It connects you to history in a way that's very visceral, very different from a museum. Shows the impermanence of things.
Interesting. Okay, mixing adventure with tech now. Geocaching.
High-tech treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Using GPS coordinates to find hidden containers. Geocaches.
I've heard of this. Sounds fun.
It's brilliant. Really low barrier to entry, active, good for all ages. It turns any environment, even your local park, into an adventure map.
Makes you look at familiar places differently.
Totally. You're scanning for that cleverly hidden box. It injects playfulness into just being outside and walking around.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to mention the one that's definitely niche, competitive eating.
Huh. Yes. The sources included it, acknowledging it's, quote, not for everyone.
Understatement.
But its inclusion makes a point, doesn't it? It shows just how wide the spectrum of human interest is.
How so?
Even something like competitive eating, which seems bizarre to many, is actually a highly disciplined activity for those involved. There's intense training, technique, focus.
Like any other sport, in a way.
In a way, yes. It demonstrates that passion can turn almost anything into a serious pursuit, if you find your community.
That's a perfect segue. We've seen this huge range from reading to eating hot dogs competitively.
Right.
So if you're listening, feeling maybe a bit inspired but also overwhelmed, how do you actually find your thing?
Okay, this is crucial. The sources point to basically 4 actionable steps.
Step 1.
Deep self-reflection. Before you jump into anything, really think. What do you genuinely enjoy? Not what looks cool or what your friends do.
How do you figure that out?
Ask yourself, what did I love doing as a kid where I'd just lose track of time? What makes me feel relaxed now? Am I drawn to quiet creation or being active or learning facts or being social?
Maybe keep a little interest journal for a week. Jot down anything that sparks even a tiny bit of curiosity.
That's a fantastic practical tip. Collect that data on yourself. Because if you force yourself into, say, a super social hobby, but you're actually an introvert, it's just not going to stick. Align it with who you are.
Makes sense. Okay, step 2.
Experimentation over perfection. This is huge. Don't worry about being good right away.
Let go of the outcome.
Yes. Hobbies are about enjoying the process, not necessarily mastering the product immediately. The sources really stress this.
So how do you experiment without committing too much?
Try a one-off class. Rent an instrument for a month instead of buying.
Right.
Find a free online tutorial. Keep the stakes low.
Like testing a hypothesis about yourself?
Exactly. You're a scientist of your own joy. If it doesn't click after a few tries, ditch it and try something else. No big deal.
And definitely don't drop hundreds on fancy gear before you know you like it.
Please don't. Experiment, fail fast, pivot until you find that flow state.
Okay, you find a spark. What's step 3?
Leveraging community. Find your people. Join a club, a class, an online group.
Like the photography club or language exchange examples from the sources.
Right. Community does 2 things. 1, it gives you social backup, accountability. You're more likely to practice if you know you're meeting the group. 2, it turbocharges your learning. You get tips, feedback, resources from people who are already into it, mentors, peers.
And communities aren't just local anymore, are they?
Not at all. Think specific subreddits, Discord servers for gamers or crafters,
Yeah.
Facebook groups for niche collectors.
Yeah.
Often easier to find your tribe online first, lowers the barrier.
Okay, final step. Step 4.
Resource utilization. Basically, realize how much help is out there. We live in an age where knowledge is everywhere.
Online tutorials, forums, videos.
Exactly. The barrier to learning almost anything is practically zero now. You can find advanced calligraphy guides, deep dives into coin history, safety protocols for urbex. It's all out there.
So the only real limit is your willingness to look and learn.
Pretty much. Your attention is the scarce resource now, not the information itself.
And the sources also mentioned something about stumbling upon the best hobbies.
Yes. Don't be afraid to try something totally random, something you never thought you'd like. You might start learning Brazilian cooking for fun.
And suddenly discover you're obsessed with the history of cassava flour or something.
Exactly. That surprise element, that serendipity, is part of the magic.
Which loops back beautifully to our final connection point. Hobbies aren't just for you.
Right. They're practice grounds. For skills, yes, but also for connecting. Whatever you're into, photography, cooking, gaming, whatever chances are, there's a global English-speaking community around it.
So pursuing your passion automatically becomes this really enjoyable way to practice communication, connect with people worldwide.
Your hobby enriches you, and it plugs you into the wider world. It's a win-win. Hashtag outro.
Wow. Okay, so this deep dive has really taken us across the map of human interests, hasn't it? From the quiet focus of reading a novel
To the muddy hands of gardening, or the tech-fueled hunt of geocaching.
and the big takeaway seems clear. Finding a hobby isn't just about filling empty hours. It's a really vital tool.
For managing stress, definitely. For learning new things, feeling accomplished, and connecting with others.
It's that intentional pursuit of something you don't have to do.
That often brings the greatest sense of fulfillment. We've seen every activity, no matter how strange it might seem on the surface, offers real benefits. The possibilities, they're endless.
Truly. So as we wrap up, leaving you with this huge menu of options, we want to plant one final thought.
Yeah.
A provocative one.
Go on.
We talked about those unusual hobbies, the ones off the beaten path. Urbex, competitive eating, calligraphy, things maybe you dismissed before. Based on our dive today, what's one of those weird hobbies that you previously just wrote off, but now you feel a little flicker of curiosity about what unique insight or skill might it actually offer?
That's interesting. Maybe exploring those forgotten corners of your city through urbex isn't just about decay, but about understanding layers of history.
Or maybe finding that hidden geocache sparks an interest in local geography you never knew you had.
Exactly. So the challenge to you is investigate that flicker. Dive in, explore. You might just uncover a passionate expert hiding inside yourself.